We got 10 college basketball videos here for Saturday, January 17th. We're going to go over 10 top college basketball plays that these guys like. Keep in mind, little early lines here, subject to change. The lines are. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Get a free $60 account. The link is in the description of the video. Use that $60 on any of these guys' premium handicapping picks you so desire, including their Saturday card in college basketball, their top plays, best bets, stuff like that. These are going to be some leans, likes, the stuff that they like already on some college basketball. So let's get this rolling. I'm going to start with you, Robert Ferringo. Iowa plus 1.5 at Indiana. Breakdown thoughts?
Know that these are not top 25 games. So these are like under the radar games. And these are my projected spread. So take a look at them. If they're close and they're good, which they're going to be, just remember who they came from.
Subject to change.
Okay. I like Indiana in this game. I don't think Iowa or Indiana are particularly good. They're both really excited this year because they both got new head coaches, and it's just a new chapter for both of them. There's been some excitement in both of these programs, but I don't know how good either of these teams actually are. I see mid-pack kind of Big Ten teams. The one thing that both of these teams have in common, they're both much better at home than they are on the road. Iowa's coming off a tough game. They played pretty well at Purdue, covered a big number there. Back-to-back road games, I don't think they're going to show up twice. Indiana has lost to Iowa 5 of the last 6 meetings. I don't think that they're going to lose to them again. So I definitely like Indiana here.
There you go. St. Mary's about to pick a -1, say, at St. Clara. Craig Trapp, what are your thoughts?
Oh,
I'm hitting them with the
off-the-wall
ones.
I think we talked about Santa Clara last week, and I said this team has been literally they got burned in my head. First game I bet this year, I bet Xavier against Santa Clara. Santa Clara, I mean, it was never close. They were up like basically double digits the whole game. So the whole time I'm thinking, Santa Clara is going to be good. Santa Clara is going to be good. So you know what that does to you? Like every time you see them on the board, you're like, ooh. And that's just that, I try with not to watch a lot of games early in the year because you get this, just one game can affect your whole season. That's what it has done for me. Now, St. Mary's is really good, but most of those really good. They're 11-0 at home. It's like they are unbelievable at home. I actually think you do play Santa Clara here. As much as I say they burnt in my head, I still think they're the play. I don't think this is the St. Mary's team of the last 2 years where I thought they could win a game, maybe even 2 in the tournament. They just grind you to death. I just don't think they quite have that level this year. Now that still might be it's better than Santa Clara, but I'm going to take a bet that we can get Santa Clara to cover and maybe even win this game.
There you go. Belmont -3.5 at Southern Illinois, Robert.
Yeah, big game in the Missouri Valley. This line is just going to be begging you to take Belmont. They're number 2 in the league behind Murray State right now. And Casey Alexander knows what he's doing. You want to talk about a guy who deserves a look from a high major school. Casey Alexander is absolutely it. Now, the Southern Illinois team, they remind me, Scott Nagy is a coach there. They play more like the late 90s, early 2000s Southern Illinois teams where it's defense, it's scrappy, it's always a rock fight, especially in their home gym. That being said, I'm actually going to take Belmont here. They've been a little shaky on the road in conference play, but look, sometimes it's hip to be square. Like they lost to Indiana State. They almost lost at Drake, but they have some really nice road wins this year. They won at Charleston. They won at Middle Tennessee, at UC Irvine, who's a really good program. They won at Northern Iowa. So this Belmont team is one of those teams that you get the same team every game. Who's going to show up. They're going to execute on the offensive end. They're going to take care of the ball. They're going to score some points. I think that they're going to be able to be a smaller line. This one will probably open at 3.5, and it's going nowhere but up. I expect nothing but Belmont money. So if you like them, bet them early.
Fair enough. UCLA +3 at Ohio State, Craig.
Yeah, if anybody's followed me, UCLA, I actually worked alongside Mick Cronin when we were both working Bob Huggins basketball camps and I was playing college basketball, and that's how I put myself through college in the summer was for 5 years was working for Coach Huggins. And Mick Cronin was there, and all of a sudden he was the I don't know, whatever you call that last coach back then. It was called something. It's called something different. It was like the coaching coordinator. They ran the camps. He was a prick. He was a prick. We all hated him. So it's always hell. And then when he came to UC, I never really liked him because he wasn't Bob Huggins. And it's like he got you to the promised land. He got you to the promised land if you consider the promised land the tournament. But then he couldn't do shit in the tournament. And to me, I think he's done better than I thought at UCLA. But he's just not that great a team this year. And I think Ohio State is better than the records. I mean, they looked like they were going to beat Nebraska. It didn't happen. Then they go beat Oregon. And then I think, oh, here they go. They're going to play better. Then they lose at Washington, didn't really play pretty well. I think they played better at home, 7-2 at home. I'm going to take Ohio State minus a small number. But it is kind of a homecoming for Mick Cronin since he's from Cincinnati. So that would be the one positive, I think, for them.
Heading to the Mountain West, New Mexico plus 4.5 at San Diego State. Thoughts, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot like Friday's game between Colorado State and Boise State. You just always give the home team the benefit of the doubt in the Mountain West, right? Especially San Diego State. Very, very difficult place to play. That being said, the road team has actually won outright in 3 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Eric Olin has done a really good job. He was at UC San Diego the last 2 years. Now he's at New Mexico, taking over for Dicky Pitino. He's got the team rolling. They've won 13 of their last 14 games. Tough to bet against there. I'll say this. I don't love either side. I defer to the home team of San Diego State, but I'll give you some advice. If you like New Mexico, take them on the money line. The favorite is 7-4 against the spread in the last 11 meetings between these two teams. But the 4 times that the underdog is covered, they've won outright. So you're going to be getting some really good plus money value. So for me, it's either lay the points, take the home team, or if you like New Mexico, go ahead and sprinkle a little on the money line.
I like that.
Fair enough. Notre Dame plus 5.5 at Virginia Tech. Craig Trapp.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the what-if season for Notre Dame. The Burton kid, like if he didn't go down, I really think this team would have been a feisty 4th, 5th, like the middle of the pack. I think now they're still feisty team. I mean, like that Cal game. I mean, I don't know how you lose that game. They were up the entire last 3 minutes, and you just foul at half court, people, and you don't have to worry about it. But either way, they did cover that game. I guess that'd be the positive. But this is a team that is decent against the spread, 7-3 in the last 10 games. That's both of these teams. I'm going to lean towards Virginia Tech here, though. At home, they're 10-1. They had that big win, I believe, was it against Virginia, right?
Yep.
Like 4 or 5 back. Obviously, rivalry games, you kind of say, you kind of throw the records out the window, but that's a pretty good Virginia team. I did not see that coming about Virginia. So let's take Virginia Tech minus the number here. I just wish the Irish if you hadn't seen that Burton kid play, the dude would have made a monster difference on this team.
Arkansas State plus 5.5 at Troy, Robert.
All right. These two teams just played 9 days ago, and Arkansas State won by 12 at home. I actually really like Troy in this spot. Troy is a team that I don't want to say they haven't played up to expectations, but they look like a team that's a ball rolling downhill. Now that they're in Sun Belt play, I think Troy is the best team in this conference, honestly. Okay. Early on in the season, they went to San Diego State, beat San Diego State. They should have beaten USC on the road, back-to-back games. They have played well against good teams. They've won, I think it is 8 out of 9. They're playing with revenge here. This is a contrast in styles where Arkansas State, they want to get up and down the court. They want to score, where Troy is a Scott Cross team where they play more of their bench. They grind on defense a little bit. I'm a big believer in college basketball that the home team sets the tempo. So I think Troy's going to get the tempo that they want. I think they're going to get revenge for that loss at Arkansas State. So I would lay the points there.
Montana State. Montana's getting 4.5, Craig. It's the battle of the century in Montana. Talk to me about it.
I mean, our guy in our office, his name's Guy, if you ever call. He's a big Montana guy. So did he call this one in and say, hey, we want to know what Craig thinks? Is that what happened here?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, these two teams are pretty freaking similar. Same records. They're basically 500 straight up and against the spread basically the last 10 games. I mean, there's not a whole lot separating them. Obviously, a rivalry game. I'm thinking it's a grind-out game, and I'm thinking the under in this game. I just think I think rivalry games, I think the first 4 minutes of games is if you get 2 baskets, you're lucky, because it's just there's just so much emotion. You're so jacked up. And people are like, oh, it's Montana State. Dude, every school has a rival. Every school gets up to play somebody, and this is the rival. So I would take the under in this matchup. I think it could be a really fun game to watch.
There you go.
Sorry, real quick. Montana has a kid, Money Williams, their lead guard. He's a lot of fun. He's a good player to watch, and he's got an awesome name. Yeah,
Money.
There you go.
You got to get him into the tournament.
You got to get him into the tournament. Richmond plus 13.5 at St. Louis, Robert.
Big spread because St. Louis is so good at home, and because they've just been absolutely trucking people when they win. They usually win big, but this actually should be a pretty intriguing game. Like Richmond, Chris Mooney came into the year, their head coach. He was a guy who was definitely on the hot seat. Richmond's had some really good teams over the last 10 or 12 years, but Mooney is one of those guys who ran the traditional Princeton offense for a long time. Now that doesn't really work in college basketball the same way that it used to. He has adapted, and he has his team playing pretty well. They've been kind of a feisty little underdog. They've covered 3 straight in this series. I actually think that they're going to be able to hang around with St. Louis. St. Louis is either going to win by 25, or this is going to be like a 6 or 7 point game. Just the way college basketball has been going the last few weeks. If you are a moderately competent underdog, it seems like they're covering the spread. So I'm inclined to take the points. Also with St. Louis, if you haven't watched them play, Robbie Avila is worth the price of admission. He's a big man who does a little bit of everything for them. He's one who's worth watching.
I like that. Last one for us here. Buffalo plus 10.5 at Miami, Ohio. I mean, this is for VIP chat member too, by the way. Scott's always asking about Miami, Ohio. So finish it. This was no correlated thing here. Finish this off with some MAC action, Craig.
All right. So first and foremost, 18-0. Miami. It's like it's a big story. They're still not ranked, and they're as a Cincinnati Bearcat fan, and this is kind of our other rival other than Xavier, they're like throwing shots at Cincinnati like we're the best team in state, and like it's like why they're not. I mean, they're playing great basketball. If you've watched them play, the movement off the ball and the fun they're having is just contagious. And when you're winning, that's going to maintain. I'm always like, okay, when's it going to end? I just don't think it ends here. I think you take Miami plus the point or minus the points. They're just playing unbelievable basketball. If this game was later in the day, maybe I would give Buffalo a better chance. But early in the day, Buffalo is not close to Miami, by the way. This is like 4 or 5 hours. They probably bus rode it, though, because it's like time you fly, and Miami is an hour and 20 minutes from Cincinnati Airport. It's like, dude, you could bus it that fast. Anyway, I would take Miami minus the points. Going to be a fun end of the year if Miami can keep this run going, because it makes the MAC relevant. Every time someone plays Miami, it's like, can they keep it going?
Love to see it. Don't forget, there you go. There's 10 underrated college basketball plays for Saturday, January 17th from Robert Ferringo and Craig Trapp. I'm Detroit Lenny. We appreciate everybody watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment in this video. If you have something that you like, you follow, fade, what you like, side, total, proper, otherwise, drop it in the comment section. Don't forget, use that free $60 account, DocSports.com/free60. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Good luck unless you're against us.